I don't know who needs to hear this, or maybe I do. You don't owe anybody access to you. And no, this doesn't mean you should be the type of person where someone who has a genuine heart makes a mistake and you just cut them off immediately. But I'm talking those people who cause enormous amounts of pain and suffering, and they go out of their way to hurt you. We all know someone like that. And they go throughout life and they hurt a lot of people. And often what I'm noticing, the older I get, is most people put up with people like that. They come to family parties. They come to get-togethers. They're that person that you avoid at the party because you don't want to create conflict. Or they play victim anytime someone tries to call them out, someone tries to hold accountable. You do not owe them access. You don't owe them a response. You don't owe them communication. And yes, sometimes it can be hard because these people are leeches. They will sit there and they'll go like 6 months without talking to you, and then they'll randomly text you. And then they'll text you again. And they'll sit there and they'll try to force access because they feel entitled to you. And you might get to the point where you start to second guess yourself because you're like, they act like it's just normal. They act like this is just entitlement again. So they don't see anything wrong with their behavior. But here's the thing. Did they ever take any ownership for what they've done? Did they ever take responsibility? Did they ever apologize? No? And even if they did, let's say they did, okay? You still don't owe them access because someone saying, I'm sorry, or I did this to you and I feel bad, that's not enough for some of these situations. Like, yeah, someone makes a mistake and they apologize and it's heartfelt. There's a difference. Maybe you might want to consider forgiving them, but again, you don't owe them that. And what I've noticed is the entitlement gets worse, especially if this person had access to you before. Like if you were in a long-term relationship with somebody like this, they may think that they should deserve access to your life forever because they had access before. If you have family members like this, again, you might be blood related to them, so they genuinely believe they deserve access to you indefinitely. Also, when someone apologizes, I want you to consider, how long did it take them? Because I'm starting to notice a trend with a lot of people where they won't apologize until they start feeling consequences. So it's not coming from a place of genuine remorse. You see people who have hearts of gold and they're absolutely wonderful people, and they do something to mess up and they feel so guilty and they apologize very quickly. This doesn't necessarily mean immediately. Sometimes, people get busy, whatever, but they actually make that strong effort to apologize, not when they start feeling the consequences. So are they apologizing because they genuinely care about you as a human being, or do they want access to you, to continue using you, to continue taking advantage of you? Because that's something I've noticed. Also, do they think time erases it? That's a big one I'm noticing with a lot of people is they'll do you dirty and they'll avoid you. Sometimes for years, sometimes for months. They'll stay away from you. And then they act like nothing happened when you finally do get to know them. Meet them. Maybe you run into them. Maybe they finally reach out. They act like nothing happened. And then they just expect to slide right back in your life and go right back to status quo without addressing any of the underlying issues. And yeah, sometimes you have little petty disagreements with someone, and there doesn't necessarily need to be an apology for those. But I'm talking like the bigger stuff where it's like, no, you need to take accountability. Also, people like this will often use excuses like about you, calling you stubborn or impossible or harsh or too strict, or that you hold grudges. Because again, see how it removes like the attention off them needing to take accountability? If they call you stubborn, it's your personality flaw, not theirs. So that's something to watch out with people like this. Personally, I know quite a few people who act like this and they're horrible. I've had to cut them off and remove them from my life. And I promise you, it might be hard in the moment, especially when they do their constant reach outs, but it is so worth it. Your peace that comes back from a result of that is so much better. And these people will try to screw you over. Sometimes they'll talk badly about you to others. They'll try to smear your name. But at the end of the day, if you have integrity and you hold strong to your values, their lies might be believed initially, let's be fair. Or they might be believed by some other people that don't want to see you in a good light. But oftentimes when you hold your personality, they start to see who that person is and they change their mind about that other person, which makes them see you in a different light. So it's scary, but I think more people need to have this mentality.